part of the session that I moderated a few weeks ago. I am back. I am excited today. It's going to be a great talk. It's going to be a great talk because we have a great speaker who is going to share with us his experiences. But I think even beyond the experiences, I am extremely pleased because he is going to share with us what he is doing today and what he's likely to do with us or with some of us as we find those right places to connect. So let me just kind of give you a little bit of background about our speaker and yeah, get going. Sorry. Right there. I would not be surprised if some of you know the speaker. So today we have Bayo Adesanya. He's the Chief Digital and Innovation Officer at AXA Mansard Insurance, Division Head, AXA Direct. Bayo is responsible for leading the company's digital business transformation and emerging customer efforts. This includes driving the development, improvement, and day-to-day operations of the company's digital channels and supporting ecosystems through which general and health insurance, as well as savings and investment retail products are purchased online. Managing relationships with e-commerce and technology partners, improving online product portfolio management, and enhancing the use of customer relationship management and analytics tools. He also manages the internal effort to continuously optimize critical business processes through analysis and guided experimentation. This initiative leverages heavily on technology to deliver solutions that improve the overall efficiency and profitability of the company. Bayo is no stranger to this industry. He has over 20 years work experience in retail sales, management consulting, and financial services. Prior to joining AXA Mansard, he spent 12 years with Philips Consulting Limited, where, as the associate partner for business advisory services, he led engagements to improve the performance of private and public sector organizations through the articulation of their strategies and transformation of their structures, systems, and people. His core competence includes strategy development, organizational transformation, process re-engineering, performance management, and market research. Bayo is a certified Balanced Scorecard graduate, Prince 2 project manager, and disruptive innovation enthusiast. He has attended professional development programs at leading institutions, including the Lagos Business School, London Business School, and Harvard Business School. He is a highly experienced facilitator and speaks regularly at business events. So I have to say to all of you that I had the privilege early this week to spend just a little bit of time with Bayo. I walked away from that session with him energized, excited, not only because of what he has done and some of which we've heard about in his bio, but more importantly, for what he is doing and the way he is thinking about the space in which we are investing our efforts and time. He said something to me that I will let him speak to himself. And if he doesn't say it, I'll say it to you. But when he says it, I'll let you know. So how about we welcome our very own AXA AXA Digital Chief Digital Officer. Yes, Mr. Bayo. Thank you.
Okay. um, Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever it is you are in the world. Please confirm you can hear me, either by just giving a thumbs up on your computers there. Yeah, okay, very good. Yep, I see a few. So it's a pleasure to be here with yourselves today. And thank you, Ivan, for that. I mean, I don't know if you're still describing me, but for that very beautiful introduction. Hopefully I can live up to everything that you said that that person you described, has been doing. I don't know, I'm going to try. But beyond that, again, like I told you when we spoke earlier, thanks to BimaLab for uh, bringing this opportunity our way. It's the timing is perfect for us. I would say that because internally, as I shared with your team, we also are formalizing our innovation exchange strategy or program. So to take it from talk to deliberate action. And I think by the time I finish with my uh, presentation today, I think the reasons for that will be clear to everyone here. So to the cohort that's on the call, it's a pleasure to meet you all. Some of you, I think we know. I'm not sure if they're on the call, but I think for most of you, certainly for myself, this will be my first time interacting with you. So thank you for giving us the honor, to do this. Very quickly, I will maybe just share my screen and kindly let me know when you can
So,
see my slide.
someone is raising their hand.
Oh,
Tomito
okay.
P,
Yes, please go ahead.
you have a question or comment? Tomito P, or was that a hand that was stuck out there a long time ago? Okay.
Okay. So yes, I mean, are you all able to see my screen now? I'm sharing. Can you see?
Yes.
Ivan, you can? Okay, very good.
Yes.
So, I've been asked to speak or to share our digital journey, our digital transformation journey so far, at AXA Mansard. Um, and the approach I've taken, just to let everybody know. So the material that I'm sharing with you, I thought about how best to put this presentation together. And what I've just done is literally, I have taken pages from different live documents that we used throughout the year. So you are literally walking through, or walking in our shoes as I go through these slides. I'm not sure I actually created any new one, maybe one or two at the end, but these are actual documents. And I want you to be able to appreciate, if you can, the journey as well as the challenges, some of the successes, and more importantly where we are today, and as I said before, why we are excited to be part of this initiative that's kicking off here. So if I start from the beginning, circa 2017, the company decided to hire me. Let me put it that way. But before hiring me, they had done the due diligence and had identified that digital was the way to go. And I'm talking maybe even as far back as 2011, 2010. But late 2016, they started putting a team together. I believe our first foray on the internet, with our own website also started around then. But I joined midway in 2017 and with the inaugural team. But the mindset of the company, in the past, the previous model, you had digital related functions spread thin across groups and divisions with mostly third level reporting to the chief client officer, who is, think of that as our country head, so that's the leader of the team in Nigeria. But remember that we have currently now 3 SBUs. Each of those has an MD as well. So there was no direct reporting line and no active collaboration for shared goals. E-commerce business was conflicted in the middle of severe interchannel conflicts and lack of visibility. This is a story that is familiar to many organizations, right? When you're just starting out on this digital journey. So at the time, which is the present, the middle box you see there, the intention was to construct a new e-commerce model, giving more capabilities to digital transformation, right? Bringing together core functions and roles to ensure that we have the right amount of resources to drive the significant change required. And then the goal was that in the future, we will evolve as a business, focusing on total user experience, to include engineering, data sciences, et cetera, et cetera. And I think I have summarized. Sorry, I'm trying to move my the screen around a little bit. But the founding vision was to quickly, move up the digital governance maturity matrix within an 18-month period, with the overarching goal of being able to serve our customers whenever, however they desired service, leveraging on the efficiency of our core processes. Okay, so essentially this was the plan. Okay, this was the vision, and then the company took some steps to try to actualize that vision, culminating, as I said, in hiring little old me, mid 2017, and giving me the challenge to work with the team, which again, the company had very kindly put together. There's a core team with members drawn from different parts of the group, very, very young and bright. Well, no, young and very, very intelligent, bright, resourceful team members that were put in place. And honestly, that was one of the biggest favors that the company could have done for me. Let me stop and ask a question here while we're at it. Are there any Ghanaians on the call? I can't see hands because I'm sharing my screen. Are there any, Ivan, any Ghanaians? Sorry?
I'm not sure. Tonya.
We don't have any Ghanaians on the call.
If
No,
you want to give them money, they Ghanaian.
No. I want to get them off the call, right?
Okay, great. I second that too.
But the question I was going to ask, really, a friend of mine asked me this question, a few days ago. Between selling diesel and insurance, which one do you think is more difficult in Nigeria? Anyone? Between selling diesel and insurance, what do you think is more difficult?
Why? Why?
It's obvious. Selling insurance.
Selling insurance, right?
Selling insurance.
That's what I said to him. He says, because he has to deal with, touts and things like that at the depots and all of that, that he has the harder job. And I laughed and I told him for sure he doesn't. And then if you want to then add an extra layer of complexity, try selling insurance online, right? But that's what I've been doing. That's what this team has been doing. And I have colleagues on the call as well too, who have been doing it. We've been on this journey for myself over the last 5 years, for some of them even before then. Okay, but this is where the company was leading up to 2017, and realizing that going digital will require a different set of skills, culture, and depth. Okay, and the company was committed to and making an unwavering effort to do so. So along one of the things that, they did differently, my team operated away from the parent, our regular location. So we operated from another location entirely. We dressed differently, not like your, typical insurance professionals would have dressed in the past. They're trying to catch up with us now. So, no ties, trainers, etc. More like a fintech organization, which really is what we are. But we're sort of embedded within, the larger AXA Mansard company, and we are still the same company, except we need to try and chart a course for the future. So the initial model, the initial structure also, the organizational structure that we put together then is what you see on the screen here, where you have a group head, that was me at the time, reporting directly to that country manager that I said, so direct reporting to the overall boss.
Hey, we don't see the organizational chart.
Oh, you don't? Let me go
No.
back. Let's try.
I was able to see. I don't know why you're just complaining. It's clear.
Oh, it's here.
Yeah,
You
I
can
am
see
too, Ivan. Yeah.
Ivan, Ivan, it looks like it's just you.
So we don't care
Okay.
about Ivan. Let's go.
Forget Ivan.
Okay, no worries. So that's always important, I mean, that direct channel to the, let's just say, the boss, because you need a lot of protection and backing to essentially disrupt, from within. Even disrupting externally as well, you need to have some key decision makers behind you that will help you to get through, whether it's with the regulators or internally disrupting the existing units. And remember, the rest of the company had been functioning for probably about 20 years, and then you've got this new baby that you're trying to set up. Nothing malicious on the part of your colleagues or the existing lines of business, but because it's different, because it's not how they have succeeded in the past, there will always be resistance to change. Okay, so we have these four main teams. The engineering or software development team, aka digital automation, as we ended up calling them. We had the digital marketing and sales, user experience, which also supervise the telesales team. Okay, that's a team that we have, like essentially, as the name says, telesales. If you have any questions, you're trying to buy things off of our channels, you have numbers to call or ask them to call you back, just to complete that customer journey and make sure that anyone who drops off, we're still able to sort of bring back into the fold. And then lastly, you got technical support, because of course we sell insurance, right? And investments. You then need some back office support, things around actuarial services, risk management, legal contracts and documents that need to be reviewed and drawn up, liquidations, what's happening with somebody's claim if they bought online, etc., etc. And we had those as like support services, but we had somebody within the team who was our touch point, right? To pass that through the channel, and then to get the feedback from those various teams. So we put these core functions together in the way that you see on the screen there, and initially planned that a team of 14 professional staff and 6 professional sales staff, that's the team, the telesales team, that's what was anticipated. That's what we sort of kicked off with. And then just to shed a bit more light on the role of the founding teams, okay? This is typical sort of fintech startup type structure. You're going to have teams that have this sort of definition. If you're building solutions or platforms or channels electronically and you're trying to sell, you will have teams that look like this. So on one hand, you've got the digital automation team, which is the engine room, right, of the group, of the business, building and ensuring the smooth running of all online platforms. Without that team, we have no business, basically. You've got the user experience team, which sits usually as the glue. It's the one that sits in the middle and connects everybody together, responsible for identifying and implementing solutions. Essentially this, everything from product, let me even say identification, design, managing the build process, launch, post-launch feedback, etc., ensuring that the experience of users on our platforms meets the required standards. Okay, that's user experience. Then you have digital marketing and sales. So you can build the product, you can build the best product in the world, you still have to go and sell it. You've still got to convince people, customers, to exchange value for this lovely product, to show them the value you deliver and get them to then exchange, part with their hard-earned money, for this lovely product. And lastly, like I'd explained earlier, the technical support team, which, coordinated all the, if you like, back office type requirements that the group had at the onset. One of the things that we did after I came on board, and as Ivan had explained in the intro, my background, again, leading into AXA directly, the 12 years before AXA, was in strategy consulting. So, we sat down together as a team at the end of, maybe even before the end, actually, probably 3 months thereabouts after I joined, to draw up for ourselves what our mission would be, our vision, and then we latched onto the objectives that had been defined by the company. We adapted a few things, tweaked a few things. I kind of blacked out a number under the vision there, but we'll still, sort of maybe get into it with the questions later on. But what you see on the screen, the mission and the vision, were drawn up by the team, not even myself, it was the team. We went away on a retreat. I think we went to the beach at some point in between all of this and all. But really, there are memories that I still cherish so much, and then the team has gone on. There are some members that have remained, others have gone on. They're all over the world now. We've brought in new, even more intelligent and super smart people. And yeah, but this is where we started from. For the mission to provide customer-friendly solutions for every pocket, delivered through the most compelling digital experience. And our vision to be Nigeria's leading non-banking financial services platform with over X millions active online customers by December 2023. So, this was circa 2018, I think we drew this up, maybe going into 2018 or early 2018. And it was our 5-year ambition, okay? And then you've got on the right side there, how were we going to do this? One was to optimize existing products. 2 was to create new products, right? So we were set up, a digital business was set up to increase the retail footprint, right? To grow the retail footprint of AXA Mansard online, essentially sell our products online, okay? And that then, of course, presupposes the company's been around for a while and is a leader, one of the leaders in the industry. So how do you then transform the existing retail products, as many of them as could be transformed into electronic versions that could be bought end-to-end online, all right? So that's the first focus. And then also, by carrying out research, listening to the customers, looking at the industry trends, etc., would we need new products? So we needed to also be able to create new products, right? Leveraging on analytics, co-creation partnerships. So you start to see where it kind of ties back with this group that's on the call today. Number 3 was customer engagement and retention. You know, use of analytics to improve and develop and customize products and sales campaigns to target customers. Okay, remember we agreed that selling insurance is hard. Okay, it's harder in Nigeria, then it is super hard doing it online or electronically. So you can't cast your net wide to cover the entire country. It has to be a bit more targeted, and you have to be more creative. And technology provides a way for us to be able to do that. That's the whole point, you know, literally for setting up this team. Last point there is process and capacity enhancement. Okay, so enhancing staff skills and competencies in core functions, optimizing the telesales team to be able to adequately support the sale of these products online and offline, right? And support the digitization of core business processes. Just take a note of that last point. Again, you see how that developed or evolved, you know, further over the years. So we now get to, let's say, the end of year 1, right? Again, these are slides from 2018 that we put together to try to review the business. And so we start our flashback. Our strategy for our customer acquisition strategy is what you see on the screen, you know. So talking through, drilling down a bit now. And for this session, I didn't want to make it theoretical. That's why I'm showing you these documents. You know, there are different organizations here at different stages of maturity and development and growth. Some will have passed through, you know, what I'm showing you here. Others, perhaps you're still heading into it, right? Others may be completely new. But the point here is we then, you know, started drilling down these existing products. We've got the first auto, you know, insurance product online, AutoFlex. We launched that, I think, in 2016. So we were looking into it further. How do you adapt that? How do you then make it more bite-sized, right? Initially give out a monthly cover, then perhaps even break it down further into weekly, okay? Who wants to buy insurance on an annual basis these days? You sign up the paper and all that, then the insurance agent goes away. You don't see him until A, either you have a claim, or B, when it's time to renew. And usually in the past, when you have a claim, you actually don't see him for a while too, because they don't like to hear that there's a claim. You know, likewise for channel optimization, we had identified here, we would focus on our My AXA platforms, right? Like our app, USSD, and the website. For creation of new products, we talked about research to continue product development initiatives based on regular industry analysis, retail purchase trends, and customer feedback, okay? So very, very targeted, and we drew up programs and initiatives that were executed along these broad lines here. Number 2, analytics, online customer sales, data and sales trends to create the products that are more customized, right? And thus more attractive to the youthful population of, you know, under 30s that make up, what, like 60% or more of our 200 million strong population here in Nigeria. Gain insights from, you know, looking at their data, basically just leverage a bit more on analytics. And then final point there, from 2018, co-creation and partnerships, right? Where we said we wanted to work with good people like yourselves to create new products. So maybe it took us a while to get here, but we're glad we're here all the same. And we've been doing some things even before now. I'll show you those as well. Number 3, customer engagement and retention, right? Use of analytics to improve, develop, and customize products and sales campaigns. I touched on that earlier. Provision of additional touch points. So things like lifestyle and wellness management, right? Via online communities, introduction of a blog, use of social media, you know, to drive engagement and retention. increased use of AI and chatbots to facilitate selling and issue resolution, increase in self-service offerings for customers. So empowering our customers to be able to do a lot of the actions, carry out a lot of the actions that hitherto, either were shrouded in secrecy or restricted to you having to, go through a physical, a human being, somebody else, before you could access your statements online or get a breakdown of your medical records, even how much you were charged for each visit to the hospital, that you've accessed under your health insurance plan. Number 4, focusing on process and capacity enhancement. So the first point there talks, about us integrating and working better with all the other entities within the AXA Global Group, enhancing staff skills and competency. So training, making sure that staff receive the right training, okay? Optimizing the telesales and customer care functions, and as I said before, supporting the digitization of core business processes. So very quick look, right? The story wouldn't be complete without maybe showing you some of the achievements that we were able to then notch after our first year of operation. So development of our Easy Care product. If you go on our website today, you will find that that's a health, affordable healthcare product, retail, to address segments, market segments that traditionally hadn't been served before we were set up, right? Zippy later became Save It. That's also on, it's active now, finally. Introduced recurring payments for life savings and other life contributory products. For channels, we launched our app, first ever version of the app that we built in partnership, or let's say we had a vendor built for us. But the second version of our app we built internally, right, over the last 2 years. And that's actually a much better, much more interactive and informative app. Website, was launched, USSD launched, a service desk also set up as well. So just putting in place all the building blocks, right, along these main headers. Marketing and sales, you have to sell the product. So creation and use of better creatives, optimizing your digital marketing spend, okay? Tracking email marketing, the success. What's your open rate? What's the click-through rate? You put the material out there, you're trying to get as many eyes as you can on it, and you're trying to get them to take action. So even your call to action that's on your channels, how well is it positioned? How many people are getting to that point through your sales funnel, okay? Research customer insights, put up a few surveys for products, competitor analysis, online leads, etc. Even dabbled into some new business. We actually built a telemedicine platform in the first quarter of 2018, between December and March 2018, December 2017 and March. Really, really intense, project, and well received as well too. But then the story didn't quite go to market, not down to our own reluctance to do it, but then some higher power sort of intervened. Let me leave it that way. But that also speaks, I would say, to some of the frustration that you can get in this stage, of your businesses, your company's growth, especially if you've got investors, you've got other key stakeholders, right, who might disagree with some of the things that you're trying to do, okay? And so a number of other things there, making sure that our people got trained, project management, design, sprints, machine learning, data analytics, etc. Customer support, transformation. We started to put the building blocks in place to use BVN, right, for EKYC, partnership with digital hubs for research, etc. On and on. It's all there on the screen. Then we go to challenges, which I kind of introduced a little bit. Yep. One major one there. Ivan, I didn't hear you. Yes.
Yes. You can't go too fast. You can't leave this. I'm still behind on these major achievements.
Okay, all right. Let's go back.
Okay. Just a couple questions.
Sure.
One, I really appreciate the market research and that background of yours came through in terms of the things that you did. But
Yes.
if you were to take one or two of the things that you did in the first year or two, and realizing that we are like you to a certain degree, this is wonderful market research. If you were to go back and focus on only two, what would you have focused on, or what would you focus on, and why?
Okay, one second, Ivan. I'll be right with you. I lost connection for a little bit. Can you see my screen again?
It's coming. Yeah, it's here.
Okay. Okay. So
Did you
your
hear the
question was, no, please just repeat it. I lost
Yeah.
you in the middle.
Yeah. Okay, so you had a lot of things done, you focused on, but if you were to go back, given the benefit of hindsight, and you are going to focus on one or two for maximum impact, what would you have focused on? Or does it even make sense in your context to select a subset of these things?
So that's an interesting question. The first thing that comes to mind for me was just building the sense, the common purpose within the team. That I wouldn't, that it's impossible to get away from that, right? And that's why I also told you that the mission and the vision, it was important to get the team to come up with that together, right? Because that was something that if you woke anybody up, any one of us up that first year and you asked, well, why are you even in this team? What are you guys trying to do? The company had its, like I shared with you, its own objectives and what it was trying to achieve. But for us to get up every day and come to work in what was a small office, not as nice as the one I'm sitting in today. I always tell the new joiners that it was important for us to have that common purpose. So that's one thing that I think was absolutely critical, right, to do. Second thing, I would say that we needed to, all the points we have under channels here, okay? Without the channels being active, we had no business. There were products that were existing that we could transform and put online, right? So not an issue. Even marketing and sales, the parent company had that as well too that we could leverage on. But it was absolutely important that these, the app that we got that launched, that we signed up all our payment partners. So we had Paystack, we had Flutterwave, we had InterSwitch all set up and ready to go. Remember, a key objective for setting up the business was to provide convenience to existing customers anyway, right? AXA already had customers here. So challenge, start to migrate them online. Challenge, start to sell products online, but without them being able to buy. So going back to channels, right? Without them being able to buy, then I think would have gone belly up. So it would be those two areas. First, in setting, an objective, something that the team keyed into and could come up to work then and do whatever it was required to achieve that objective. And then ensuring that our channels were up and running. Within that, I told you we even built a telemedicine platform as well within the first 6 months. Yeah. So that would be it for me. Yeah.
One other question now. We
Sure.
look at you and we say, you were bound to succeed. you had all the resources that AXA Mansard has. You are not like one of us. So that maybe, but let me ask you a different question. What would you, when you look at us working from outside, small startups, what do you see in us and you say, if only I had that, some kind of advantage for a small guy
sure.
like any one of us? Yeah.
Sure. So to answer that question, Ivan, let me move to the next slide, right? And then you will see. Yeah. So with
Can we go back to the next slide before you move to the next one? I'm sure you're going to cover that answer. I'd like to go back to the sub. I have some few questions on that slide before we go, please, if that's okay.
the major achievement slide.
Thank you. Yes.
Sure.
I just want to have some milestones. So we show in terms of achievement in marketing and sales, 220% on account on growth and 311% on value growth over 2018. So what is the time horizon for that one? Is it over 3 years, 2 years?
No, 1 year. Remember, we started in 2017. Yep,
Yeah.
1 year.
Okay,
This is from 2018. Yep.
Okay, that's fine. That's really quite interesting. So the plan grow was so let's say on product where you're using the existing product, being that AXA existing product, you just digitalize it. So when you show the growth that you're measuring here, is the growth of new customer, or is it the growth of the existing customer sales?
No. Okay, so that insurance, you renew insurance every year.
Yeah.
After you have bought the first time. So there are two pieces. New sales as well as existing.
Yeah.
Then there are also insurance products like savings or life and savings backed products that you contribute to. So they're like savings products, right?
Yeah.
So you take out the plan and then you're topping it up. Remember also that we also sell insurance and investments. We have an investment business within our group. So it's general and life insurance, 1, health insurance, 2, and then asset management, right?
Sure.
Investments, 3. So on the investment side as well, you have retail products like your money market fund that are savings backed, basically. So you are saving into it constant. You can open that up with, I don't know, take out a plan with 2,000 naira, and by the end of the year, you've contributed another 200,000, 2 million, if you like. So the figure you see here is the reflection. This team is focused on retail products, both insurance and investment. So the figures that you see here capture that whole picture. Did that answer your question? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you did. Congratulations for that significant growth of, if I may, after 2018, what has been the track record of that thing? Because I mean, this is mind-boggling in terms of numbers, what you can be able to achieve here. So it's quite impressive. So and it's 18, we're entering, not clear, very close to entering COVID, but COVID was 2020. How was your number been, the growth been so far? If you can comment from today, just to give us an indication of the journey. Sorry.
Sure. I would say that, I mean, when we even without, while we're building to actually even measure progress, right? By 2019, we had grown the business. If I remember now, I think it was about 5 times.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. From 2017, from where we started in 2017. By 2019, we had doubled that. So we were doing 10x.
Yep.
By 2019, we did yeah, just roughly, just short of 10x by 2019. And like you did mention, COVID hit, and it was a flat growth, just a little bit more than what we did in 2019 is where we ended up 2020. By 2021, and you will see, as I tell the story, we made some changes, essentially adapting our strategy from a purely digital one to a phygital one, right? Just in recognition of the fact that the market here, like we said, is hard to sell insurance, right? Even harder to sell it online. So what do? You try and marry both scenarios. So you're doing online, but then you complement it with what the market still wants, which is some offline interventions as well. And by the end of 2021, we again doubled, our contributions to the larger group. Yeah, we doubled the numbers from 2020. And the challenge for this year is to do more than double. So it's almost like, yeah, okay, we know you guys can double now. Yeah, okay, every year you come and you say you're going to do double what you did last year. So now, give us more than that. And that's the challenge. That's what we're chasing this year. Is that satisfactory?
Indeed, very good. Thank you.
Okay, so back to Ivan's question. When you say, oh, you're AXA and you got all this support, which we're always grateful for, and I said it in my opening sort of remarks that was a very, very big blessing, and for me, it just showed that the company was serious about going digital. Okay, they didn't just talk about it and then hire me and say, okay, dude, go and sort yourself out. They did do pretty much all that they could do, to ensure that the business or the team started off well. However, I envy from your end the fact that you're smaller. And this team, remember, we build up to 14 people, so it's not a large team, or it wasn't a large team at the beginning, and it's not designed to be a large team because it's a digital team as well. Okay, but what you all have that I would say that I envy is your freedom, your independence. The first point on here under products, nightmares for me, getting new products approved. Oh my. Our first product, Save It, I mentioned it, Zippy. We conceptualized it maybe 2018, maybe, yeah. We couldn't get Zippy approved for over 2 years. By the time we got it approved and launched, of course, the market had shifted. And so we then saw other products that were nowhere on the horizon when we had already created this, that we're already selling. And so we've come to the market late with that, and the truth is the jury is still out now because now we're chasing, with something that would have been truly innovative. I mentioned something to you as well. We built a telemedicine platform early 2018. COVID didn't hit until 2 years later. So why are we not the leaders in the telemedicine space now, for example? Our own solution, I mean. We've partnered with Tremendoc, and that's a very, very good partnership as well, too, which is what we ended up doing during COVID. But we had built one internally, right? You see a point there, regulatory approvals. Even for us, as big as you think, the team is, or as well set up as you think it is, limited budgets. Last point, autonomy issues, right? Because we're dependent on these people and this team and that team. And many times it was just like, why can't we just be fully a startup. Yeah, and those are so
Car. Did we lose him or I dropped? Huh,
No, we lost him.
we lost him.
Yes, we did. We can barely hear you.
Ah,
Yeah, for sure he'll be coming back shortly. It's a matter of connection.
hey, we have some other
yeah,
AXA
I
Mansard
think
people. Oh, you are back. Good.
so I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, let me go back and try to share my screen. Sorry, I'm actually in the office. So we seem to be having some challenges with our network today. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I see my screen.
Yes. Well, not okay.
Okay.
Screen is here.
Yeah.
Not yet for me. Out there, it's here.
Okay. So talking about challenges as well, even the adoption of a unique customer identifier, issues with our technology, a major problem that a lot of, let's say, industry leaders have is legacy IT infrastructure, right? Which you all don't have. You don't have to contend with that. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So because we're part of AXA Mansard, we have to work within, a lot of the rules, and that's just how it is because you're part of this organization. Okay. So those are a lot of the, what you have here are the headaches that we had to deal with during that first year. And not all of them have been completely solved, but we're in a much better position now. But remember, this is 5 years later as well. So be careful what you wish for, Ivan.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
You might get it.
Yes. So moving on swiftly. Yeah, so we had this point that we continue to apply the lessons learned, to improve our operation. So we had a renewed focus on travel insurance. On the digital marketing side, we started to adopt drift marketing strategies, so more targeted, right? Changing specific things, headlines, tags, etc. Live chat agent optimization per entity. We realized we needed to focus a lot more on life savings because it's an affordable product, right? It fits that requirement for bite-sized products that our customers had told us, was what ticked their box. We also increased our marketing spend. We realized very quickly, there's almost a direct relationship, right, between how much we spent on marketing and how much revenue we're able to generate. If you're looking at the numbers, right, and you're doing a proper analysis, it's almost directly the more you spend, the more you make. But it's not an absolute rule, because if you're spending, as we say over here, anyhow, and then you will make anyhow, and it will not be more. All right. Yeah. So we also, started to review and update our website content for, product funnels, just optimizing things. Yeah, just a few of those things. Okay. Also changed the ICO consultant. And then, yes, to the voice of the customer. So those surveys I mentioned, we were able to understand that our typical customer was, between 26 and 34 years of age, employed. Health and family were rated the top two most important factors by our customers. Pay as you use was a thing increasingly. So most car owners said that they think comprehensive insurance is just too expensive, and that's why they don't have it. You know, most of our customers wanted affordable products, you know, capped at 20,000 naira for any type of insurance per annum. They wanted mobile first channels. They wanted concise information. Insurance can be such a boring industry, right? Lots of legalese, and everything looks like it's hidden in the small text. So they wanted more clarity there. Investments was also particularly of interest, maybe even more so than insurance, right? Everybody gets savings, and everybody can monitor the performance of their investments. Monthly savings plans were also most preferred. You know, nobody really wanted, very little, few people wanted to be paying annually. And then the last point on the ease of use, okay? The ease of use of channels, you know, and multiple touch points as well. So that's what we kind of closed out on 2018. And then we had these, you know, sort of pillars or buckets drawn up to focus on from 2019 and beyond. For our products, to continue focusing on savings and investments, you know, improve our retail health insurance products, reposition life savings, right? Channels, again, just to increase an omni-channel strategy, increase the touch points, drive innovation in payments for our customers. Remember, they said they want to be able to pay monthly. In 2018, 2017, that was not so common. It's not even available by all insurance providers today. Marketing, a massive new push, customer acquisition push by providing services that are wholly data-driven. Mirror sales strengths to identify products to push and when. You know, we realized as well too that we had periods in the month when we would get a surge, right? And other periods when things were a bit more quiet. So how do you then adjust your marketing strategy, your push messages through the different channels, you know, to catch the peak and extend it as much as possible, as well as generate interest even when there is a dip, okay? And on. So products, channels, marketing, partnership and innovation, right? Leveraging on open architecture, right? For to boost partnership, drive and innovation, especially in the fintech space, trying to just latch on to the innovation that's going on there. Research and analytics, and then business transformation and support, right? That took us.
So wait,
Yep.
Bio. On the previous slide.
Sure. Previous one. Here.
Yeah, when I look at this one, the one we were just on for 2019.
Yeah.
I don't see myself in there. I am just a small guy, you know. You're talking about research and analytics, business transformation and support. I mean, you are going after the big guys. Do you really are we looking at the same customer? Convince me that the space you are playing in, I can also play.
Oh, so the answer is, if you look at products, Ivan.
Yeah.
Our focus there is on savings and investments. Right?
Yeah.
Those are the lowest entry points, the lowest price points to enter insurance or investments. When you can buy a product for as little as 1,000 naira or even 500 naira, where you can open an investment plan with 0 naira, you can sign up. Okay, so our focus was on, and I said this, bite-sized products. It's retail. We weren't trying to cater to the middle income segment and above. yes, some of these also speak to them, but a lot of our focus, maybe, big language and big grammar on the screen, but it was about drilling down into retail, right?
Okay.
If you look on the channel side as well, we're talking about self-service options. We had built our USSD platform at this point, and that was in response to the huge segment of the market that couldn't or didn't use smartphones, realizing that the smartphone market is middle income and above, right? Yeah. But everybody's on Facebook, Ivan. Everybody's on Facebook.
You're right.
Even those below the middle income segment too. So we had that in mind. Likewise, WhatsApp. So yeah, all of these things were, when we broke them up, right? They were targeted at, let's say some of the middle income and then lower.
And then And I like the fact that even at this point, you had a focus on partnership and innovation, and yet you are the innovation group.
Sure.
But you want to partner with others in that sense.
Yes. Because the products, the honest truth, Ivan, is that the products to serve the majority of the Nigerian market still don't exist today.
Wow.
If you have insurance penetration at 1%, let's say 2%, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, not all 200 million people can afford insurance or qualify for it. Okay, fine. Let's strip that number down to 50 million.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're still dealing with maybe 1 million people or 2 million people. No, there's still a huge market that we are not speaking to or have not developed products for. To do that, you cannot do it within the same, looking at the same indices and speaking to the same people within the industry as always done. You have to go outside. So partnership and innovation always been important to us, and it remains so. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Makes sense.
So 2019 to date. In late 2019, we then added the business transformation team to the digital group, right? Remember, this was all e-commerce before now. We're trying to sell online, etc., etc. But we then also realized that as we were transforming online and externally, we needed to transform parts of the business internally as well to complete the chain. All right. Otherwise, you'd have ended up, exciting customers externally. They'll be able to buy, and then you might get to a point where they're trying to claim, or they want customized products, and the processes for doing that were just not in sync with this digital front end that you're presenting to customers. So we set up the business transformation team actually late 2017. Actually, if you remember, one of the objectives that the digital team had was to drive to optimize processes, right, for the company. So this team was set up to do that, so that the digital team could focus on e-commerce mainly, right? 80%, 90% was to be on e-commerce, and then the remaining 10, 20% on process optimization and transformation of internal, some key internal processes. But business transformation was set up to focus on that. And, at the beginning, we had them split. We had the team split into like these 7 areas: data science, underwriting transformation, retail transformation, analytical dashboards, right, to improve decision making by providing data more readily, not just on Excel sheets, but building dashboards that were easy to read and easy to use. Customer centricity, business process reengineering, and something we call them AXA. So I think I skipped retail transformation as well to help, and the various objectives for what we call these project teams are stated there. But we merged the business transformation team with the digital team in September 2019. Okay. And then, hang on a second. Yeah. Then by, let's say, January 2021, and back to the gentleman who asked the question, about our growth trends. So this was what changed in 2021. We then also added the emerging customers and digital partnerships team, to form what we refer to internally as AXA Direct. AXA Direct is the digital business transformation and microinsurance arm of the business. If we strip it all away, I think that's what you heard in Ivan's introduction, of me that he read out earlier. But these three things are connected by their reliance or use of technology to develop innovative solutions, whether those are products or they're optimized processes or they're customized, products and solutions for the micro insurance, aka emerging customer space. That's the thread. That's what connects them. Okay, and the emerging customers team especially is more nimble, for example, with product development, right? So all those headaches that we had on the digital side, and one product is taking 2 years or 3 years to go through the approval cycle all the way to launch, the emerging customers team has a bit more leeway to experiment with products, right? It has a bit more leeway to partner up with unusual partners, let me put it that way. Digital partnerships connects, the digital team and this emerging customers team, because it's really there just an avenue for us to look for how to redefine retail insurance in Nigeria. That's really it. And so it made sense for us to put these three teams together and say, each of you can complement. The emerging customers team didn't have a channel or platform through which they could sell. The team has channels, and you can buy bite-sized products on there. So why don't you put your bite-sized products that you've been able to deliver multiple, versions of on the website, and we make that synergy, that connection there. So that's what led to the creation of AXA Direct, which is the physical embodiment, right? Embodiment of our physical and digital strategy. This is some of the breakdown of what the emerging customers and digital partnership team does, right? Micro product development, just like I've been describing. Target.
Wow.
Okay, hi guys. I'm back
Hi.
again. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Technology will always do this to you, huh? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Loud and clear.
Can you see my screen as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so micro product development for emerging customers, digital partnerships, as I said, it's a business development team, right? So complementing everything that we're doing online by connecting that to, offline customers, offline signing up even these partners in our increasingly growing digital ecosystem. You still got to go visit people. You still got to close out agreements. You still got to onboard partners. You still got to do all of that, and you've got to go and even just meet with them from time to time. The digital team doesn't do that because they're busy managing our shops online. Literally, all those channels are shops, and if the shop is closed, then it's not selling anything. So the plan is to keep those open, and then you have this team here that is able to go out and generate new business, meet with customers, meet with partners, meet with prospective, etc., etc., and also help to sort out things around claims, risk assessments, support functions, all of that. So just putting the physical and digital elements of this retail business that we're growing, putting them together, leveraging on technology to drive, that union. Okay. So, oh yeah, I think that came out from here as well. The embodiment of our new phygital strategy, and that enabled us, as I said, for 2021, even though the impact of COVID was still pretty heavy last year as well, but it helped us to, as I said, double our contributions at the end of the year, vis what we did in 2020, which had basically been, just a bit of a flat growth on 2019. It's literally just slight bump of a growth. Okay. So for AXA Direct, you have the business development experts represented by emerging customers and digital partnerships, through which we are driving a lot of engagement, right, with let me just say, the fintech community and beyond, usual and unusual partners, Then you've got the digital experts, right, which is that founding team, marketing and sales, automation, user experience. And then you got the technical experts, so product development or management. Then insights and innovation, again, just trying to further improve that focus we always had on analytics. And I have to say that currently we're driving that function through the business transformation team, right? Who are the process experts? Because amongst many other things that team has done, it's developed a real expertise in building analytical dashboards that are being used all across the company. So same team, we're leveraging on to drive, these are first forays into innovation. As well as insights. So looking deeper into customer trends. We've got all this customer data, right, that we must process, even just by virtue of being an insurance company. You're sitting on a lot of customer data. How do you make sense of that data to either develop new products or to customize your engagement, with literally each customer? So to the point where they feel like, wow, these guys really know me and they understand where I'm at, in my life and what I need, and they are my partners, because insurance isn't like banking. Not everybody believes they need insurance, but everybody would like to have a bank account and go in there and check, at least, even if it's just to see, the status of their savings daily. So you have to really find a new way. It cannot just be, we got insurance, come and take, or it's by regulation, you are required by law to have this thing, which is why a lot of people even have third-party motor insurance, right? Which doesn't really provide you with a lot of cover. but at least that's what the law requires. So they sign up to that and then that's it. Yeah, but if your car gets stolen, third party is not going to get you another car. And I can share with you a personal story to that effect, you know, which I always used to tell people that please, as much as you can, certainly people like ourselves on this call, try and protect yourself for when life happens. Okay, but that's a story for maybe later on or another day. Okay, so this is the team that we kind of like how we're structured at the moment in AXA Direct, and we realized that, you know, starting from 2017, you know, the story I've just told you where it was all digital, we realize now that to get to the next level, the winning talent combination has to be a mix of non-insurance digital experts from outside, as well as people within or even without with deep insurance knowledge. Okay. And that's it. So just leveraging on this increased skill set. Yeah, a quick.
Wow.
This is not this isn't even this is even old actually, but I put this in there as I said, some, you know, material from our progress over the years. But in terms of payment gateways, I think like I mentioned, you know, I mentioned 4 initially. We've also added OPay in the last maybe 6 months or last year at least. We have partnerships with the companies that are listed here and many more. With Airtel, we've just recently launched an affordable malaria product. We have a malaria product that's for less than $1. You know, again, going back to bite size, and Ivan, hopefully, you know, you can see yourself in that space now. Even though I don't think that that's for you, but you know, you're welcome. You're welcome to buy that as well. And for products, you know, health insurance, travel insurance, etc. Channels, I think I've mentioned. We've gone through maybe about 3 different iterations of the website now. I still kind of smile, you know, when I think back to the one we started with in 2017, which was revolutionary at the time. I should get pictures if I can still find them of that website and just put them beside what we have today. I've talked about our app, which the current one we built internally by ourselves, and we're very pleased with how it's been adopted. USSD, etc., right? We're also integrating with third-party websites and all. So, yeah, this takes us to some of you know, the people on the call today. So
don't transition here. Don't go here yet, because I'm actually go back one more too, because before this one.
This one.
This kind of locked into my mind.
Sure.
Looking at something like this makes me think, what are I guess this is not the right word, but it might help. What a smart, disciplined team that can go from just playing with digital to come up with a framework that is so logical, makes sense, like the groupings of what I see. To me, this is not like a little set of guys that are playing around. There is a strategy, there is rigor, there is a process to it. Can you comment a little bit about the team that actually came up with this, and how do you continue to evolve as a team?
Okay. I mean, you know, right. So if you refer to the challenges that had, some of them that I presented before, so going through the years, over the years, I would say this: we had a 5-year strategy, okay, and 3 years into it, usually, again with my training, you would, midway through that 5-year period, you would sort of stop and evaluate. So 2.5, 3 years into the strategy, we had started, in fact, 2 years after, right, we had added the business transformation team already. Do you understand? So yeah, I think the idea was we were always looking for how to improve. I'm very big on continuous improvement. And just in line with the industry, with the environment, with the challenges that we're facing. Okay, so yes, we're making progress, online, but then internally, some things needed to change as well. To say, okay, fine, we had this business transformation team that had been set up almost at the same time as digital, right? Why don't we just try and leverage, the synergies between them now? So plug them together. And then for the emerging customers team, I think even from the year that I joined, it was always clear to me that we were going to be connected, or that we would be connected. In fact, we used to work out of the same location, by design sometime after I joined. Okay, this is in of course or maybe testament to the management of AXA Mansard, right? Remember, they had this plan set up, like I said, maybe even from 2011. Yeah. Okay. So if you ask me why, I would say that this company, for me, my experience, is the only insurance company I've worked for anyway. So I can only speak from experience. If you'd asked me if I would have worked in insurance before I joined AXA Mansard, I'd have told you were joking. But it's an unusual company, and the leadership remains pretty unusual. And so that's what enabled us as well. The commitment also to say, okay, we've noticed this. Okay, fine, let's talk about it. Let's see, how do we improve? What do we move, etc. That's what's allowed us to sort of make this evolution and end up with the current structure that we had. So always in conjunction with management. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. No, thank you very much. Because this, to me, speaks to an observation, and we've talked about it as a group before. That discipline to take a little bit of data, repeating the process, learning from it, and then doing the process over and over again. Because you are really a student of your industry. You are a student of your customer. You are a student of your offerings. You are not just putting stuff out there and hope that things are going to work. And I think all of us have to develop that muscle, even when we have small resources, to continuously think about what data am I working off of, and am I actually improving the am I doing what I'm doing today better than I did it yesterday?
So, and thanks, Ivan. Let me share this as well with the team. I just said a few minutes ago that if you told me I would work in insurance, I would have said, you needed your head examined back in the day. But I joined this company because I know the value. I know the it's hard enough living in Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, right? Life is hard enough here, and I'm not saying it's terrible and we're suffering, but life is hard enough here. If there are things that can help to alleviate or improve the quality of life that we all enjoy, sign me up. And that's why I'm in this company. That's why I joined the company. Insurance is one of those things. And it's almost like it's like a mission, honestly, and I think that is so much more relevant also to all of you with your startups. We are running this is a startup inside AXA Mansard. It's because we're sitting under AXA, then everybody says, oh yeah, but you had this, etc. Yes, we got some advantages from being housed here. For example, in quote, a free office, right? But hey, we have to, initially we had 4 subsidiaries, now we have 3, okay? You pay back, there's no free lunch anywhere, so you pay back that free office, you pay it back in services to the people picking up the tabs, if you like, back then. And you also then have to grow your own contribution also into the pot to validate your existence. So if it's not a mission, it will be difficult for you to stick with it. And I think that's the message that probably you guys are all able to sort of key into, because it's the reason why you started your business, for most of you, if not all of you. If you don't believe that you can actually transform or bring something that didn't exist before, to life, and what's the point?
Yeah.
That's the word. Yeah.
You may as well close shop. That's the point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any questions, guys, before we move away from this? Comments and the rest?
Sorry, this is a quick question, maybe just to have a scale.
Sure.
What is the AXA Direct, sorry, how the scale of that business compared to the bigger scale of AXA, and in terms of percentage, I'm not looking at absolute number, of course, and what is the ambition of AXA Direct?
So our ambition, remember, we're focused on retail. So you would have, you would compare us to the retail business of AXA Mansard. All right. Just for proper context, we're not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't push commercial solutions, etc., and all of that, or anything that's not retail. But the ambition is, currently we're probably contributing about maybe 5% of the overall retail budget. Our ambition is to hit 20% within the next 3 years. Also now. Yep.
So someone asked a question that I had some time back, and they said, does this imply that you are our competitors?
So, yeah. So AXA Direct is an insurtech. It's a health tech. It's also a fintech, right? However, as part of that definition, and if you remember from 2017, the 2017 slides I showed you, our strategy, our focus, our recognition has always been that we will succeed only through collaboration. I will tell you again why. Let's strip it down. Back to market penetration, ladies and gentlemen, right? All the insurance companies in the market today, all the business that is being done today is only 1% penetration. That's all we've all done. All the giants, all the big names and the small names. Where is the competition?
Not on the 1%.
Yeah. So there is literally, right? And I've said, forget about 200 million people. That's not the addressable market. That's not the true addressable market, right? Let's even focus on 50 million, which is a quarter, isn't it? Right? Of that 200 million. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, forget 50 million. Let's focus on 10. Right? There is more than enough space for everybody to succeed because the market has not even been scratched. The true potential has not even been scratched in any way. A lot of even the 1% penetration that we have today is from corporate organizations, people. It's not retail. So the huge potential that exists, yes, most companies have insurance in some form or shape. You know why? They're required to. Government requires them to have. So that's easy. Yeah. Back again to how difficult it is to sell insurance. Yeah. Selling retail insurance is hard, but there is a massive opportunity that hasn't even been scratched. So our fear here should not be competition. We should be fully focused on collaboration to improve the quality of life of the average Nigerian in this country. It sounds like a mission. It sounds like a
like you are
sermon.
preaching.
A sermon. I make no
Yes.
apologies for it. That's the
Yes.
mission. So it's either we're serious about doing it or we're not. So yeah, that would be my response to that.
Yeah. I would just add one little touch to that. You are admitting that everything that you have done has not even moved the needle.
No.
If you think the population of Nigeria,
Yes.
they say it grows by 2%. If we just continue to do what we are doing, we are actually moving backwards. We are not even keeping up with the population.
Exactly, Ivan. Exactly. And that's how to look at it.
Yeah.
You know, so health insurance, because it's health, ladies and gentlemen, right? There's so much to do there. How many people can afford quality health, have access to quality health service? Yeah, healthcare, health interventions. There's a lot that we need. Like, if we truly step back and look at the job that needs to be done, we wouldn't be afraid of competition. Because even in competing or even in collaborating, the opportunities that you will get from doing that far outweigh, honestly, what I say would be maybe the current approach where everybody's been trying to go do their own thing on their own. No, technology is here, right? And it simplifies things. Let's use it. Let's work together and let's create innovative solutions that people can relate with. We've had successes, like I've explained here. We've had successes. We have, and I've got some, maybe the next move. Yeah, sorry. Is my screen still up? Maybe not.
Yeah. We are fine.
Okay, let me go back.
It was.
Okay, no, I couldn't see it. So let me,
okay.
Can you see? Can you still see?
Yes, overview of the business,
okay.
The digital.
So yeah, I was going to say that, look on this slide here, right? We moved, for example, from maybe 13,000 registered users to over 110 as at 2021. From 315,000 website visitors, you got over 1 million. Launched, we probably have right now over 60 active key partnerships, right? Leads, all sorts of things here. So we've achieved things, but in the scale of what needs to be done, and this is what drives AXA Mansard as a company, ladies and gentlemen, in the scale of what needs to be done.
Yeah. Was that a pause for impact? Mr. Bayo, where are you, my friend? Come back.
Okay.
Okay. No.
Let me quickly wrap up, Ivan, and then we can just take questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Italy. Yeah. So I was on this slide to also give a shout out to some of our existing partners, right? You know, if you're in the house, you see your names there. Apologies if you don't, but this is an evolving or growing list. But this is what we're trying to do. So we're not playing around. We're not, you know, we haven't gone through the 5 years that we have, you know, just for the fun of it. Certainly, that's not what I'm doing. That's not why my colleagues, Alfred and co that are here, that's not why they're doing what we do, you know. So our mission is to work with as many of the names on here as possible. If there is a valid opportunity, if there is a valid something that improves the lives of our customers, then we'll be interested in it. So for everybody that's on the call as well too, if you have something innovative, something that will help us to achieve real progress as a country, you know, and maybe even beyond on the continent as well. Insurance penetration isn't great across Africa either. Take out South Africa, maybe Egypt and 1 or 2 other countries, and or maybe Kenya, by the way, Ivan, right? So maybe that, but overall, it's not great. We're literally still scratching the surface. Okay. Last slide. I think I touched on this one just to show it with some basic metrics, right? The kind of progress we've made that also have helped us to achieve the kind of growth that I talked about. Okay, if you're growing active users from 10K to 45K, beyond that as well, actually, I think on about 70 something K now. You know, then you're going to see traction. It means you've got people that are now more interested. And when we say active, it means they're taking an action, right, on our channels at least once a week. Okay. And that's a fallout of all the various, you know, marketing, user experience improvements, customizations being built into the platforms or the channels, etc. Final slide so that I can stop talking and maybe take additional questions. In case, I think just for context, to make it easier to the community here, these two gentlemen are, I would say, probably your primary contacts, right? If you want to talk innovation or find out how to then, you know, and Ivan he knows them and has met with them as well too. So again, you can go through Ivan, but these are my two colleagues. Yes. And of course, I remain at your service as well too. But that's my presentation for today, ladies and gentlemen. I will stop sharing my screen now. Thank you.
Just come back. Thank you. I am speaking for me, but of course today I'm speaking for the group as well. It's been wonderful, and we just want to open it up for questions, for comments. I am sorry, sometimes I talk more than I'm supposed to, but I'm excited, so I can't help myself. So here is one comment. AXA Mansard has built an engine, as we have seen. The engine is well oiled. It has fuel that some of us do not have. All we have to do, this is my, I guess, crystallization of what you just said, is somehow get our piece to get on that engine. There is potential for us to be accelerated if we can find a place to connect with that moving engine. You've demonstrated that behind this group is the ability to move. You have certain resources, you have advantages, and that we don't have, but we also have some advantages that you don't have. These guys have been sleeping, waking up, dreaming. Their life is being eaten up by one thing. And the ability to take that and connect it to a moving train and having it go, I think, is potentially explosive. So that's my comment. Let's figure out a way and to move with a moving train. So please, comments, questions.
Okay,
Yeah,
hi
Ashil
everyone.
has his hand up. Okay, yeah, Ashil's he's had his hand up for the last 10 minutes.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I think we let him
Yes.
go first. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for the presentation and thank you for sharing your journey. So I just posted my question in the chat, and basically my understanding is that you have an internal mandate in the retail. You reach out to as many as you can beyond the traditional channel. And you also have an external mandate in the use of technology to help you do that. Will you consider your group also as a potential incubator for InsurTech startup because of the need for collaboration? And do you have a particular target in mind in terms of metrics? How many startup, how many relationship you want to build that can help you go faster in achieving your goal of hitting the 20% of revenue for AXA?
Achille, how do you say your name?
Yes, Achille.
Achille. Okay. Thanks, Achille. And congrats on qualifying for Qatar, by the way. Yeah. I say with some pain, you know, in the back of my eyes. but yeah, thanks for the question. You know, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, we're at the start of our own innovation exchange journey, right? Honestly, we haven't crafted that or defined. You know, you talked about number of startups to incubate. I think we would like to incubate, you know, and work with potential startups. The strategy for right now, we're pushing an ecosystem and digital partnership strategy. That's it. You know, again, I make no apologies for this thing because we are not deluded to think that we have the answers internally here at Chill. You know, and I want everybody to sort of hear the words I'm saying here. You cannot be the smartest people in the world and have them all inside your company. We admit that. We embrace it. We have no shame in doing so. So we want to work with people outside who are smarter than we are. But in terms of defining, we're in the process of defining that you know, the framework for doing it. That's the honest truth. But I can see that potentially somewhere in the future we would, yeah, why not? We would start small, that's for sure. Again, people like to think, oh, AXA, there's a lot of money to throw around. No, I guarantee you that that's not the case. We have little, but we squeeze a lot. We get a lot from the little that we have. That's the mentality, this team for sure, you know. So yeah, thanks.
Okay. All right. My name is Veronica, and I work with Sosocare. I'm the co-founder and product lead. Sorry, I'm not on video. I'm actually on transit, but I had to join the call. I really want to commend your approach on the session so far. You've been very open and very honest, especially on your journey so far, which for us startups is actually what we look up to, especially when you started mentioning that even in your own capacity, selling insurance is actually very hard. for us as a team, we have actually looked at alternative ways of financing insurance, looking at the poverty index in Nigeria. So what we have adopted is the bulk of the market lies at the bottom of the pyramid, who are also in the informal sector that, like you have said, have not even been scratched. And the insights we have gained so far has actually been that people want this product, but they cannot afford it because it's quite expensive. And with our alternative means of financing insurance, the feedback has been massive. It's been generating a lot of interest and all of that. I want to ask, because we have severally taken feedback and people keep asking, how come we do not know about your product, which we know that when we launched, we actually underestimated our budget for marketing. And because we were new in the industry, we were still trying to learn the ropes. But the little experience we have gained, we have known that now that for us to scale as we have projected, we need to do a lot of marketing, which by the next quarter is what we will focus on going forward. And you actually mentioned partnerships. We've also done a couple of partnerships, including with your organization, which we would be rolling out next month. Now, I would like your opinion on what percentage of your budget actually should go for marketing. Because if you have a good product, you have a great team, you have the best of everything, and your target audience do not have information about your product, is actually a huge setback. This is from our own experience as a team. So I would like your opinion on how much of a team's budget should go for marketing, and for startups, what do you advise should be the best marketing channel, especially for us who are actually targeting the informal sector? We have also found in our journey that there need to be a lot of regulations around bringing the informal sector to the insurance fold, which currently is lacking in Nigeria. So we will be looking up to big industry players like you to actually be the voice, to actually push for regulations where the informal sector, which actually form the bulk of the market, to actually have regulations that will ensure adoption of insurance products in the Nigerian market and African market at large. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Veronica. I'll try and respond. Yeah, there were maybe two major points on there. One was you asked about marketing, how much to spend on marketing, right? And
Yes.
the second one was which mode of marketing do I think is the most effective, right? For
for startups.
Essentially the wedding customer space. Okay, so let me answer the first question like this. If you remember in my presentation, I told you that by the end of year one, we had done our analysis and realized that we needed to increase our spending, our marketing spend. So what I would say to you is, in order to make that decision, you have to be clear on the metrics that you're targeting and you're measuring. You know, they say what we cannot measure, we cannot manage. So rather than give you a back of the envelope figure, no, I would say you need, and this is what we did, you have to be clear about what KPIs you are chasing, right? What do you need to achieve with the money that you spend? I also said something else, that we spend little, but make sure we get a lot from it. It's very brutal, Veronica. People think there's money being thrown around. It is brutal internally here, I'm telling you. And because my colleagues are they're finance people, every naira you get from them, you know, they make you show them how you've spent it. So I think you have to be clear on what you want to achieve, right? And then you also have to be targeted in how you spend the money. But you will only get to that point through some experimentation. So I would say start small, start with small, and focus on getting the most you can from there. As you make that journey, you will see where you should be pushing your money to. You're going to have to increase your spend at some point. But before you get to that point, make sure you are clear on who you are reaching and you know, how much they are spending, you know, in response to the messages that you're pushing out to them. Now, the second question, emerging customers, I'll tell you something that we found recently. So the common logic might be that the best way to reach them would be through feature phones, right? But even that emerging feature phones, so basic phones that a lot of them can't afford smartphones.
Yeah.
Good. So it will then be USSD. And that is true. However, as you know also, Veronica, there are levels within the emerging customer space. So you actually will have some who do have smart devices as well. So the short answer, I would say USSD is one. You've got to be able to push messages in a cheap way to customers in that segment, right? That's one. You're going to have to use some offline marketing as well too. It can't all be digital, especially as you go into the rural communities, right? Who, you know, people that have less access or no access to digital communication. And then there might be a little sprinkling, a little opportunity for you to reach them via smartphones or smart devices, mobile devices. Yeah. I hope that that's useful. Yeah. You know, I won't give you specific numbers, no, because I think you will find that you have to also fashion something that works for you. But using the broad guidelines that I've given, that's how to get to the answer. Start small with your spend, right? Try and identify where you are getting the most bang for your buck. Let me quickly say something and then I'll keep quiet. Right now, Veronica, we don't market to everybody. We have figured out, you know, some of our core markets. So we get more from a smaller group now, instead of casting the net wide and hoping that, yeah, you know, the more people we interact with, the more our products will buy. That hasn't worked for us. We did that for some time and realized we were, if you like, you know, not being as prudent with our limited marketing budget. So then we reversed course. But if you don't try, you won't know.
Definitely.
All right. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Well, I guess we have one more question. It's almost time up. Please go ahead. I see a hand raised. I can't read the name.
Right. Good evening, everyone. For me, it's just to say well done to the AXA Mansard team. There's a lot of intentionality that has gone into what you've done. And again, coming from my background, the years of experience I've spent as the in operations, insurance operations, I can tell that there's so much intentionality here. But most importantly, I think my interaction with some of your guys, especially Alfred, I'd like to say that the lot also comes from the execution and the implementation, because it's one thing obviously to birth a dream, it's another to actually execute on the dream. So I feel like it would be it would be unfair of me not to commend the guys who I've interacted with, Alfred and his team, and just to commend them. They've done fantastically well in our engagement thus far. And also to just throw in some, because again, at the end of the day, with all of this, if there aren't back end improvement measures to sort of solidify or improve on what you've done, eventually everything gets down. Yeah, so it's just to sort of point some areas to where you as AXA can sort of improve upon, such that at the end of the day, whatever we're seeing at the front is what we're receiving at the back end. Yeah. So well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your very kind comments. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. So I guess what we're gonna do, I wish we had another hour. Bio, any last comments? And then we will say goodbye until next time.
Yeah, I would, thanks again, everyone for listening. Thanks, Ivan, and the BimaLabs team again for giving us the opportunity. We are happy to participate in this project. As I said, we are in the initial stages of our own journey into innovation, but we're committed to it because there's a lot that needs to be done. We haven't started yet. The entire industry hasn't started yet. For everything that we celebrate and we backslap each other for, there's a lot that needs to be done. So I encourage you guys, all ladies, gentlemen, to key into that purpose and let's improve lives. By solving problems, the financials come. They will follow. Yes, it's good to have a plan. We've got to be clear on what we're trying to do. But the size of the opportunity, gives me all the confidence in the world that everything else that we need, will follow from there as well. So thank you, and let's do this.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time, for your insights, for letting us look in and benefit without the sweat and the tears that you guys have gone through. Of course, we have our own sweat and tears, but we are now benefiting from yours. Thank you. And hopefully we will find a way to collaborate, because you've made that invitation so eloquently and so sincerely. So thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone, or good day, good morning, and good night. Yeah. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Yes. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.